Hey, I'd like to welcome everybody to another round of Tech Talks. My name is Max Dennison. I'm the Digital Inclusion Coordinator for the city of Pittsburgh. I have the honor of the guest, Anthony Harper, who is the co-founder and director and co-director of BetaBuilders, a coding program that teaches inner city kids in the city of Pittsburgh how to code. Anthony, please welcome yourself to our newest version of Tech Talk.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Excited to be here, and let's get to talking.
Let's get to talking. So, for everybody who doesn't know, Anthony is the co-director, co-founder of BetaBuilders. We've been working for 6 years with a mission of trying to get inner city kids to get in the computer science space, learn how to code. He's been very intricate to the success that I've been able to accumulate and just pushing the message out of there of how important technology is. So I thought it would be fitting starting the year off of 2022 to bring him in for an interview, see where he's at. Also, I think he has an incredible story because Anthony is as a traditional programmer. And what I mean by that, when I refer to somebody as a traditional programmer, somebody who actually went to a university level to learn how to program and code and went to school for computer science. So, sometimes we get people who have went to school, went to boot camps, who maybe have gotten associate's degrees or may even be self-taught, which is perfectly fine. As long as you get involved, we're excited to work with you and we're excited to help. But Anth actually got a 4-year degree in computer science or IT technologies or whatever the name is at the university that he went to use. So I think his story is very useful. Him being an African-American male, being an anomaly in the space. It's been an interesting ride. So we'll start. Anthony, please give him an introduction. Tell him a little bit about your background, how you got into computer science.
Let me think. Well, quick intro. I guess I have a name, Anthony Harper, as you can see. Went to Clarion University, studied computer science. If anyone's aware of the merger, soon to be, if the name hasn't taken already, it's going to be Penn West, I think. So that's
right.
I got to get used to that. But so yeah, we studied there. I thought it was just going to be the traditional, graduate, move on, get a job, life just kind of goes. That's not really what happened. I graduated, and then we job hunt for a little bit, probably for like a year or two. I'm doing some temp work. I get a little into freelancing. Nothing's really sticking. Then I meet these two people who are putting on an event in Homewood Library, and 3-4 years later, we are going on 4 years now. We've just gone all over the city teaching basic web design. I'm about to start expanding into Python, so that's going to be fun. Just trying to get all this stuff to the youth any way we can. That's pretty much.
I think it's an anomaly that you got. It's an anomaly that you.
I think you broke up there.
I'm sorry. There's a little bit. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now, Anth?
There we go. It just caught up.
Okay. Sorry. There's a bit of a delay, so we apologize. So just please be patient with us if you're tuning in. Can you hear me now, Anthony?
Yeah, that sounds clear.
Okay, good. So what I was saying, Anthony, is that there's somewhat of an anomaly for you to be an African-American male in tech. Walk us through the beginning stages. What was your first interactions with tech? How did you begin your journey in computer science?
Forgot the delay. So I would say my official journey began probably senior year high school. I went to Penn Hills High School. Um, they offer about, I think it was 3 levels. I think it was three and maybe an AP, advanced placement class. But I only got to take the first level in my senior year, just because class conflicts and all that. But I've always been into tech in some type of way, usually just through video games. That's usually with my generations, most kids like exposure to tech, or if a desire to code emerges, usually they're probably playing video games, and their aspiration was to make video games.
Got you.
So
Got you. And talk a little bit about your connection with, every time we teach a class, you connect with kids usually with anime. What is the connection with anime and code? I still don't get it, but I know every time we talk to kids, every time we're teaching kids, kind of your first initial connection with them is anime.
So I don't think it's really the code and the anime are connected, but we can use just something they're interested in just to get them excited about the coding. We just put the anime or display some type of way. Like if we're gonna build, if they need a subject that we can build a project around, that's just an easy topic to get them interested immediately.
So they're not anything specifically with anime and code. It's just kids are in the anime now, and we can open up a conversation and they pull them in the code.
Exactly.
Did your parents or your father or your mother, did anybody encourage you to go into tech? What made you interested in tech? Or who did anybody influence you to be interested in tech?
I didn't really have an influence into it, but let's say, like I was saying, playing games, wanting to make a game. I was like, how do I even start? Uh, we look it up, we find programming. My parents, obviously, they're just like, oh, absolutely, go for it. Yeah, very supportive about moving into tech. Um, Obviously, the money's there, but if I enjoy it, then that's the bonus.
So if you were to go back in your story, what is your first interaction with tech? What was the first thing you did?
I'd have to probably it would be video games. Definitely over like building a computer or just writing like a random like HTML tag or a random script or something. Uh it definitely would have stemmed from video game. Well, actually, I guess I could say uh this isn't really computers, but my dad worked at like the phone company back in the day. So he always had wires and just uh eventually he worked with DirecTV, so we always had like cable boxes everywhere and cables, and I always whereas like me and my little brother, we were always like up in that stuff, just trying to figure out what it was or how it worked. And eventually he would like bring us around like the office and meet his coworkers, and they'd show us stuff, and it's pretty cool. That's probably my first like tech interaction.
Got you. Got you. So now, we work with young students. We're always trying to encourage younger people to get into tech. If you could go back on your high school career and there were courses or something specifically that you could take, what courses would you take, or what you have your son or daughter take if they wanted to be a better programmer?
In high school, well, that's one issue that especially I think we have been able to, well, not solve, but help with. A lot of schools don't have programming classes, and if they have programming classes, they probably are only going to do like one language for like the whole thing. um so I think if I were to go back and tell my past younger me something, or if I projected out in the future to tell my kids something, I'd probably tell them, if you find like a basic, if the school, oh, which I'm sure if it's my kids, my future kids, they'd have programming probably built into the curriculum already. But I'd probably tell them, take the basic class. If you like it, keep going. Like go through senior year, finish the track. Or if not, look online. We'll look for like another language. We'll see if something clicks better. But I would definitely give the advice of just doing like a little something every day, like how we tell our athletes,
Right.
I say, you know what I'm saying? They got to put in work. They got to put in work every day. It's the same with coding, same with math, same with any other thing.
Right. And I get that. But, you know, one of the interesting things I think about you, like when I'm working around you, is that you're also an artist. You're also, there are other tangible things around you. Are there any of those classes that you think will inadvertently help someone else who may want to get into tech? Should they take art? Should they take Algebra 2 to maybe help with some of the formulas and algorithms? If you could build the perfect programmer and you could take them through a school, and let's just say they don't have any specific web development courses, but they have just regular math, science, social studies, what classes do you think will be important and will be helpful?
Web dev specifically. So if we're gonna drill and like just figure out where all the stuff is, like what is it to be a developer? Developer slash like designer slash like cybersecurity slash, there's just so many different sections. There's really no perfect way to kind of I kind of like that, because it's a builder programmer. But I would say like kind of find out where their interests lie. Like, so the way that it took me being an artist, I started out as an artist. I usually tell people I'm an artist that learned how to code just throughout my life. Like I went to school for computer science, but always been an artist, always drawing. Tried my hand at painting. For some reason, I'm not good at it. But definitely more of a traditional artist, digital art. And I wanted to use that to, I basically wanted to find, you know, how the question, you know, how am I going to use this to survive? How am I going to use art, you know, to make a living, support myself, all that. And tech is a good way to do that. Web development specifically, if you indulge in art, you essentially learn, you know, how colors, specific colors elicit different emotions, or how layouts affect people's like interaction with the site, their engagement with it. So I think I'm straying from the point. Kind of. What was it again? Oh, you're muted. So
Yeah. I'm sorry. So maybe just maybe take a few art courses, a few math courses, just kind of all around high school experience. Now you're one of the very few people that I know who actually finished a 4-year degree in computer science. Or what exactly was the degree?
So it's CIS at Clarion, Computer Information Systems.
Computer Information Systems. Now that you've finished your school, you've done a 4-year degree, would you encourage someone to do a 4-year degree or a boot camp?
Cool. Those questions always throw me.
And let me be clear, there's no right answer. So for anybody watching, you know, the whole goal is for you to become competent in the space and being able to complete the work so you can get a job.
I would say, I think I'll wait for Max to get back in and answer that question.
Hi, Anthony. It's Sue behind the scenes. I just decided to jump in and join you with Max having a little bit of trouble, technical difficulties on our first
Technical
Tech Talks of
difficulty.
2022. One of the questions I know that Max typically asks the folks he's interviewing is, did you have any influence as a child? I know you said your parents encouraged you with coding or with getting involved in computers and building games. Were there any particular influences, a teacher that encouraged you? Maybe the person who bought you your first computer that you had an experience with? Something that profound, maybe at a young age, that got you involved in computers and tech, or just your interest first started with that?
I could definitely say a bit of an influence would definitely be my teacher, Mr. Gabrielson. Shout out Mr. Gabrielson, Penn Hills High School, if he's still there. Hopefully, I haven't been there in a while. But you have like a very specific like idea of a programmer, and not that he like, I don't know, he not a stereotypical programmer, or what I didn't like, that he wasn't the image I had in my head. He's still like I'm probably not what people think when you think of a programmer. You know, younger black guy, played sports, has dreads. He still kind of fit, you know, gamer, white guy, you know, stereotype. But a lot of people assume that programmers are not like sociable, or they have a hard time talking to people. And those just really like didn't really ring true with him, and we were able to talk all the time, and he just taught me so much. So going into college, I was like, all right, we're sticking through it. We're gonna keep it going.
That's fantastic. I appreciate that story, and I see we have Max back, so I'll let you guys continue.
Cool. All right, what was that last question?
Yeah. I think my last question for you before we had a little bit of a disruption was the whole idea. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, you know, just recently I had an 18-year-old call me, or email me, and we got on the call, and he said, hey, I have an offer to a boot camp. I have an offer to a 4-year degree. You know, which one is going to get me where I need to be faster? So being that you finished a 4-year degree, in hindsight, what would be your message to young people versus going to a boot camp or going to a 4-year degree? Like, how do you feel about that? Just kind of picking your brain on your, you know, how you take a look at that. How do you look at that? Being that you actually went to a 4-year degree, you know, people from boot camps, there's no right or wrong.
Right. These phones and this online stuff, always always an issue. Okay. I think I'll just go ahead and answer that. So school
Go right ahead and answer Max's question. That'd be great.
Okay, so school versus boot camp. Well, like you said before he cut the first time, actually, to really sum it up, there is no right answer. I think if you wanted to get to a job faster, boot camp. But all I can say is that I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I went to a boot camp. I think
so. Would you say that maybe the structure of a 4-year college really gave you the grounding for propelling yourself into the job arena?
I would say like the structure, or the just the opportunities that I had there, just the experiences that I had there. If I didn't go, I don't think I would get it. I wouldn't get it anywhere else. A boot camp, I think, has a good job structure. I'm curious. I've been curious about it the last couple of years because I've been thinking about doing one just to kind of compare, just so I could have a literal comparison for this exact question.
One of the things that comes to mind for me when I think of a boot camp between a traditional degree is what experiences and or opportunities did you or the student maybe have in high school if there weren't a lot of programming or computer science opportunities? Would maybe the 4-year work better where someone who had a little bit more exposure, a boot camp may be a good start? And I don't know, like Max said, and you said, there is no right answer to this. Just trying to help carve the different pathways that kids can take in order to break into the field.
Right. So what would I say to a kid now? Like, where would I?
If you had to change, if you were right now, knowing what you know with the work that you did at the 4-year degree and where it's put you now, it sounds to me like you like the opportunities, the experience it provided. You probably wouldn't change your path and you would do the same thing. Is that maybe correct? Or
Yeah.
you might mix it up and do a little bit of boot camp within maybe some college credit studying as well.
I think, yeah, that would be, I think that would be something cool to explore. Because now that's almost kind of evolving from the high school, community college. Now it's like high school, boot camp, maybe community college, maybe college. There's just so many things that are.
It's kind of like technology. It just,
right,
the
just grow.
course changes. You just have to
Yeah.
try to pick the path that works best for you.
Exactly. And you might not know.
Right. One of the things that I've learned from Max and all of our work with the kids with Rec2Tech is that you are, you have, in getting prepared for today, you've served over 500 youth within the city of Pittsburgh through BetaBuilders and teaching programming to the kids. And that's just such a wonderful, I love you for that. I used to coach, so I know how fulfilling it is when you see a kid get something and they're understanding it. I'm wondering if you have a brightest moment or best moment from those so many children, 500 to pick from, but one that may really stand out for you that not only helped them see something awesome in the future of tech, but that maybe worked for you too and gave you a new way to look at things. But I'm looking to see what one of your most memorable or favorite or most impactful moments is with all of the children that you've been able to work with and take on this tech path.
So let me get all that together. So I've always kind of been, I guess you'd call it a coaching role. When I ran track back in high school, I did throwing, and we didn't start it, but it was like me, one of my best friends, and a couple other people. We kind of like took it from when we were freshmen, and then went all the way through. So when we had freshmen under us, teaching them stuff was always fun. So I always kind of like take it from that point whenever I'm teaching. Some good moments. I always think, let me think. Well, there's always one, the first thing they always ask, I'm always expecting it. They're just like, so we're gonna learn like the what are they called, the aide or whoever's watching them. We'll always be like, all right guys, we're gonna do coding today. And it's like, oh, because they know what it is, but they don't know how to do it yet. And they're just like, oh, we're gonna learn how to hack. And I'm like, no, no. Always give a big preface. I'm not teaching your kids how to hack. I swear.
So, and any other like aha moments where you're working with a student and all of a sudden their eyes light up and they get it, and how that's got to mean the world to you.
It's been
the
a
best
couple
days ever.
It's been a couple kids that like they really, especially the ones that like aren't super into it, and then like we'll just switch to like a different topic or something. Like it'll either be like, all right, I got some kids doing anime. There's like a kid not into it. And I'm just like, all right, what are we talking about? We're doing sports. We like music. What are we doing? And then they show me something that they've done, whether it be, because I've had an artist too, or aspiring artists who are just like, I don't want to do this. And I show them some of my stuff. And I'm just like, look, you can do this. And they're just like, oh my God, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm just like, yes. So now it's just getting the ball moving. But that connection is always nice.
That relatable, how you bring something that they enjoy into what you're teaching them.
Yeah. And I try not to be like super like rigid about like what's going on. Like if we're all doing like a project, if I got to tailor it some type of way just to get this kid into it, I'm just like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
Okay. You talked a little bit about your teacher from Penn Hills who really helped you and opened that line of communication. Are there any other mentors that you had within the tech industry, either early in life, during college, or even now? And what is your recommendation then for kids now who want to get involved, who might be looking for a little bit of advice, a little bit of help getting their foot in the door, or moving in the right direction, to get started in the tech field? Mentorship is pretty big within this industry, no matter if it's cybersecurity or social media marketing. We all kind of help one another as we're moving along. So for someone looking for a mentor, I want to know who your best mentor was, and if it was your teacher at Penn Hills. And how do you recommend kids get a mentor now? Is there any kind of leadership groups, mentor groups that you work with within the tech field or outside of the tech field that we might be able to direct some of these kids to go into?
It's actually a good subject to bring up, because my mentors, obviously just teachers and professors, mainly. Luckily, we got Max. Max has shown me so much in the last couple of years. Not really like some tech based, but not even like a lot of like tech. A lot of like all the business and the behind the scenes as well. So I'm trying to think, especially with kids. I feel like it's hard because I don't personally know any groups, and I'm not like in the like industry. Like I'm not in PNC or with
okay.
But all I know is that there are groups that meet around the city. And I don't think you have to be like 18 and up. Like, actually, I know you don't, because it's on Meetup. There's like Meetup groups.
Okay.
There was I think it was Code and Supply. I think it was them that did an event where was what did they call them? We haven't done them in like 2 years. It's a thing where like kids can come like overnight and like occupy their space and take 24-hour like coding.
Okay.
So looking for code days, looking for groups that organize around code, around tech, just any tech subject really. Just go on Meetup. That's the thing that's best
Okay.
Go on Meetup,
Okay.
find something. Meetup's cool. Meetup's super good. I mean, it was before, COVID and everything, but
I think
we're
yes.
looking at some light at the end of the tunnel here.
Let's hopefully soon everyone will be able to meet up and get things back together again. So I'm just kind of looking through all of the things that you had mentioned. You talked about your dad working at the phone company and always having wires with his toolbox. So that's intriguing to me. And then we talked about boot camp versus a 4-year college. And I think we can both agree that it's just a matter of what fits a person's niche the best. But the most important thing is you've got to put in the time. And make sure that you give yourself some commitment. You have to put in the time, make a commitment in order to succeed. You talked about your high school teacher opening that line of communication. So I think one of the takeaways that I get from that, if you find a person, a teacher, someone who's willing to open those lines of communication and be a guidepost for you, there you have your first mentor. So take advantage of any teacher willing to share that extra time with you. Most of them, I think, are pretty forgiving with that. And that's why they're there and they will do so. And then get involved.
Yeah. Before you move on, I just want to make another point on once you find a mentor, stick with them. Definitely, absolutely, 100%. That's something I wish I took more advantage of in college rather than just high school. Because once you find a professor,
carrying it through to future.
Yeah, when you find a professor, that will go to bat for you, you're pretty like golden.
That's great information.
Yeah, especially find a professor. If you go to college, definitely get involved, because that's why I'm like comfortable like doing what I'm doing, because I did went through CS. I was in just different groups around campus, so I got leadership training and qualities out of there. Program training and event planning. So that's why I can just get all that you can. I think that's the best way to
take advantage of every opportunity. Yes. I think is the best thing that we can tell kids today. If you see something that you like doing, then learn more about it. It's an open book for you to be able to get online and learn about things that interest you to build your future.
I'm going to say it's the internet. Literally, the world is an open book.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm at kind of the end of my questions, and I apologize if I did not cover everything that you and Max had predetermined, but with his technical difficulties, I just wanted to open it back up to you one more time. If there's anything important within building your pathway in the tech field that we missed in talking to you, please, by all means, share it with our audience and with the kids of Pittsburgh, as I'm sure you do every day when you see them at BetaBuilders.
I don't think I missed anything. Trying to think of like a good little anecdote to go out on. No, I think we got everything.
Well, and we got everything and technical difficulties all in one fell swoop today.
That's actually the perfect one. This quintessential. This is exactly what tech is. Stuff is not going to work sometimes. Don't let that stop you from building, from learning. It's going to be hard, and sometimes it's not going to be fun, but you got to do it anyway.
There you go. Well, Anthony, on that note, I want to just thank you so much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it.